I always got more publicity than other people, and it wasn't like I was trying. In fact, I don't know exactly why. Maybe you can tell me why.
Oh, I could definitely tell you. You said a lot of wild.
Maybe.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about President Donald J. Trump appearing on the Joe Rogan podcast for an episode that is breaking the internet right now. Within the first hour of it being released, there was already 1 million views. And as of right now, about 14 hours later, we're at 12 million or so views on YouTube. I mean, this is really, really big. And then the numbers. Look, over here, you may or may not be able to see it. Okay. You have 1 million likes to 21,000 dislikes, which is a great like to dislike ratio. Kamala Harris could never. Nobody on that side could ever do a thing like this. People like this interview, and it's 3 hours long, and it's personable. He's showing a lot of intelligence. He's sharp. He's quick. This was a great interview. Of course, it's 3 hours. I will link to it in the box. It's on the Joe Rogan Experience YouTube page as well. Let's get into a few clips. I can't show a whole lot because of time, but I got a few that I liked. Okay, now this one is about why the debate between him and Joe Biden was early, because normally that debate happens later. Check it out.
Do you think they knew he couldn't keep it together?
I think
Do you
so.
think that they wanted that? Is that why, like, historically that debate was earlier than they've been in the past, right?
I think.
And before we continue, I got to pause it at certain points because they might try to copyright. Hey, Joe, give me a pass on this, man. It's President Trump. Give me a pass on the copyrights just for this one video.
I think they wanted to get, well, there's a lot of theories. A lot of people said, do the debate now and we'll get him out.
Right.
I think that maybe could be.
Well, that is what happened.
But that's
so
what happened.
It's logical.
I think they
to
also
assume
said,
that's
do
what they
the debate now and get it over with.
Right.
I don't think anybody thought he was going to get out, really.
No,
I don't
it didn't
think
make any sense.
The debate got him out, but I think it's very unfair. Look, you have a bad debate. His numbers went down, but I think she's not doing very well right now.
She's not doing very well at all. She's doing pretty poorly. But Joe getting out, I can't see that I didn't see that coming, because we knew from 2020 and really before then that he wasn't going to make it too much longer than one term, because he was already in decline when he ran the first time. So to have it happen again, it just wasn't going to make any sense. All right, let's keep on going. This was a good one about why Trump is so popular and why the media doesn't really understand, why the politicos don't really understand why he's so popular. Maybe they do, but they don't really appreciate it. Check it out.
I always got more publicity than other people, and it wasn't like I was trying. In fact, I don't know exactly why. Maybe you can tell me why.
Oh, I could definitely tell you. You said a lot of wild shit.
Maybe. Maybe
You
that's
said a lot of wild shit,
Maybe
and then CNN, in all their brilliance, by highlighting your wild shit, made you much more popular.
Yeah.
And they boosted you in the polls because people.
The constant Trump derangement syndrome, we hate Trump, orange man bad coverage definitely made Trump a lot more popular, because when people are watching it, sometimes what the media says does not impact them. For example, they could show a clip of Trump saying a certain thing, and the media, they're offended and they report it negatively. But when someone watches it and they don't listen to what the media says, they're like, oh, well, I like that. That's not too bad. I don't see a problem with that. And the more they do that, the more popular he gets, because people are able to see him and they're not necessarily going to be poisoned by the media's coverage.
People were tired of someone talking in this bullshit, pre-prepared politician lingo. And even if they didn't agree with you, they at least knew whoever that guy is, that's him. That's really him. Yeah. When you see certain people talk, certain people in the public eye, you don't know who they are.
This reminds me of what Charlamagne was doing on The Breakfast Club, the pre-prepared responses, not answering questions. Kamala Harris, same way. The typical politician stuff that most people don't like.
You have no idea who they are. It's very difficult to know. You see them in conversations. They have these pre-planned answers. They say everything. It's very rehearsed. You never get to the meat of it. One of the beautiful things about you is that you freeball. Like, you get out and you do these huge events and you're just talking and you're making. We've highlighted you on the show many times when you did this Biden impression where he's walking around, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's funny. It's stand up. It's fun.
Now, Trump is very funny, just naturally. And the best comedians, in my humble opinion, are just being themselves. And they see things a certain way, and the way they express themselves is what makes it funny. And because it's a real thing, or it's based in reality, that makes it funnier because it's true. You can relate to it. Trump has that kind of ability naturally.
Funny stuff. But it's like and you were making fun of Elon one time. You were doing an Elon impression. It's great. You have like comedic instincts. Like when you said to Hillary, you'd be in jail. Like that's great timing.
It was perfect time. I remember that whole thing because she was saying something about Trump and not wanting to do something. This is when they were running against each other. What was that, in 2016, right? And then at the end, he was like, oh, because you'd be in jail. It was, again, perfect timing.
Yeah.
But it's like that kind of stuff was unheard of as a politician. Like no one had done that. And I think...
You know, it's funny. You need at least the attitude of a comedian when you're doing this business. This is a very dangerous business, first of all. It's a very tough business.
It's the most dangerous business.
It's the most, for a job?
Yes. I mean, other than going to war and being a firefighter or being a cop, it's the most dangerous business.
It is very dangerous. And just think about it like this. Okay, how many presidents have there been in total? What, like 43, 44? I know how many terms there have been, but how many presidents, like individual presidents? Now, think about it. Let's just say it's been 45 presidents. How many of these presidents have been shot and deleted in office? How many have been shot or shot at? Or there's been some kind of plot against them? It's a dangerous job.
It's dangerous. For being president is the most dangerous.
Especially you. I mean, you haven't even got to the election. There's been 2 assassination attempts. And they've brushed those out of the news like it was nothing.
Yeah, they'd rather not talk about them.
Imagine if there was assassination attempts on Biden, how hard people would be attacking the right.
If there was any kind of assassination attempts on Joe Biden, if they harm a hair on his chinny chin chin, you're talking about the type of force you wouldn't believe. Whoever did it, they have their whole family in court. It'd be a whole big mess. You would see the true power of the government if that were to happen. But when it comes to Trump, it's not quite that way.
How they would be trying to get guns taken away from people. They would try to ramp up gun laws. They would try to figure out some way to blame you. If there was a tax on, if Biden got shot in the ear, we would have never heard the end of it.
But I think he's in good shape because it's only consequential presidents.
That's a good point. It's only consequential presidents. It's only those that make a difference. It's only those that matter. If you really don't matter, you're kind of a company guy, they'll leave you be. They'll protect you. But if you're not a company guy, hey, man, you might be on your own.
But she was to fund the police. She was all these transgender operations. You know, if you wanted a sex change and you were in detention and you demanded a sex change, they would give you a sex change.
Well, the wildest one is this idea of giving free sex change to illegal immigrants.
That's right. In detention.
That is the wild.
Like, okay, in detention. So you guys obviously know you're in custody. You are detained in detention center, in a jail, prison, whatever. You're in that place and you say, I want a sex change. You get a sex change on the house and you could be an illegal alien in detention. That's what Kamala supports.
Wildest thing. Is that the biggest problem you have? Yeah. You just walked here from Guatemala. You need to become a girl.
But she was in favor of it.
Yes.
So think of it. She changed. She changed 15 policies. In fact, I'm going to send her a MAGA cap.
She stole your idea about no tax for tips.
That was crazy. It's like, how you just going to, everybody knows that was Trump's idea. Why would you just try to take that and not like he wasn't the one that came up with it? That's crazy.
I came up with this idea that honestly nobody ever heard of. And now it took her 2 months, but you know what? All of a sudden,
it caught fire,
and she just put it into a little speech.
Yeah,
well,
it became
but
popular.
I think we still have that issue. I think that issue is a good one for us. But she was.
All right, we got some more here. Let me see. I got a couple more. Let's check these out.
They want to go to all electric cars, but they have brownouts every weekend, you know.
Well, right after they made the announcement that as of 2035, you're not going to be able to buy an internal combustion engine in California.
Yeah.
Like within a month, they had some announcement asking people to not charge their Teslas. Because the grid couldn't handle it. Well, how are you going to handle it?
I will terminate the mandate immediately. That's a mandate.
Thank you.
That will be done, I would say, in my first day, maybe 2 days. They want to go.
Now, look, as far as EVs are concerned, if you like EVs, I love them. Shout out to you and your EV, Tesla, Rivian, whatever the brand is. Shout out to you. But to require that and make it be something where you're trying to eliminate internal combustion engine vehicles is ridiculous when you don't have the technology to be able to do that. It's just not there. Maybe one day in the future, but as of right now, we're not there. So these kind of laws they're coming up with are just kind of silly.
I think windmills are really disruptive. When you talk about the environment, they kill the birds. You want to see a bird cemetery? Go under a windmill someday that hasn't been cleaned out with all the bird carcasses. It's like massive amounts of birds.
Well, they're also a massive eyesore. I went to a ranch in South.
Yeah, they're very ugly. When you see them in person, like if you see something from far away, like one of these big aerial shots of windmills on the water, it could look one way. But once you're up on it, oh, it's gross because they get really, really dirty. There's all kind of animal carcasses, birds, especially right there up under it. It's a mess. They don't look good. They're a blight upon the environment.
In 50 years, they had one whale come ashore. Now they had like 18 come in the last year.
Now, I've seen quite a bit of this. A lot of the beach whales. They had some in Virginia Beach, too. I remember that. It was one beach whale right on the boardwalk, pretty much. I was like, what is going on there? So I was wondering what's up with that. I never really did get an answer to that.
What is what is happening with the whales? I've read about this.
Well, they say that the wind drives them crazy. It's a vibration because you have those, those things at 50-story buildings, some of them.
Right, and they're
50.
super sensitive to vibrations
They have
and
those,
sounds.
the wind is rushing, the things are blowing, it's a vibration, and it makes noise. You know what it is? I want to be a whale psychiatrist. It drives the whales freaking crazy.
See, I didn't even know that. This interview was full of gems like that, a lot of good information. I will link to it again in the box. Go to Joe Rogan's YouTube page. It's on there. You can watch it in full, 3 hours. Great interview. Trump was engaged the entire time. Joe Rogan was fair. He wasn't just trying to kiss up to Trump because he was right there. He was fair. He kept him focused. Great interview. Great questions. Great answers. 10 out of 10. I loved it. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Have you seen the entire interview? Have you seen clips? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This was a great interview. Shout out to Joe Rogan for making it happen and Trump. I think there was some kind of little issue, some kind of little beef between the two of them. But let's just get past all that. Let's have the interview, put it out. It was great. Now, Kamala, you know what? I want Kamala to go on Joe Rogan and do the same 3-hour format. You think she'd do it? I think not. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.